Greetings. Yes. Sorry for being so late. We're supposed to start at 9:30, but the business I run is very busy, and we had an emergency call for a cancer patient with liver cancer, so I had to run to the office and take care of that patient. That's very important to me. So sorry for being so late, but we want to start on the video on diabetes and its causes and how you can repair it. Yeah, that's what it's all about today. All right. Now we're going to teach you a lot about herbs and how the herbs work on the pancreas and the other organs of elimination, how you could really fix diabetes naturally. Although we had a video on that before, but when you do videos, not live, you're limited, and the limitation will give you access to lots of things that you can use to help to repair diabetes. So this is live, and the live video is much more effective because we have more time to spend with you, the people, and we have more time to display the herbs that you can use to alleviate or remove diabetes from your system. And I went to Antigua, and in Antigua we saw lots of people have one limb, one foot, one hand. And we noticed that Grenada also have lots of people who's losing their limbs to diabetes. And then we have lots of people who are losing their kidney to diabetes. Lots of people who have diabetes are coming down with high blood pressure. We're going to tell you why you get high blood pressure when you have diabetes. You can't hear?
Don't know why.
Can't hear at all? Are you all hearing now? Are you hearing now? Are you all hearing now? Yes? If you can't hear, just post under the feed that you can't hear. And we'll try to rectify that problem. You hearing now? Yeah?
Okay.
Hearing now?
A few people saying they hearing, but some others saying that they can't hear. Okay, go ahead.
We hearing. Are you hearing me? Right. No, and I said before that we are losing lots of people to diabetes and kidney damage and kidney failure. And lots of people who are on dialysis is because they had diabetes and they lost their kidney to diabetes because they were not controlling the sugar levels. And it takes 5 years or more for you to have troubles in your kidney because of diabetes, because your sugar have to be high more than 5 years for you to have either diabetic neuropathy, nerve damage, diabetic retinopathy, eye damage, or kidney failure. Having a high sugar level over a long period of time will damage these organs and damage your eyes and damage your nerve. All right? So now we're going to teach you now, so we have a longer time, how to take care of your pancreas, how to prevent diabetes, and if you do have it, I'm going to show you, type 2 diabetes that is, how you can fix it. All right? If you have discipline, because you must have that. Right? You can't be a food mouth if you want to fix diabetes, eating the wrong foods. Yeah? Right? Now let's talk about type 1 and type 2, because somebody asked me to talk about type 1 diabetes. Now in type 1 diabetes or even type 2 diabetes, sometimes your immune system or a virus cause you to lose the function of your pancreas. But it happens more in people who have type 1 diabetes, which is young children. They call it juvenile onset diabetes. Yeah? And that is when the pancreas is producing little or no insulin at all. And you have to shoot the insulin in your arm. Right? Now, insulin, long term, can damage your kidney also. I'm going to say it again. Insulin, that they make you shoot all the time, long term, can damage your kidneys long term. That's a fact. So what they're doing now is they're giving you 2 types of insulin. They give you the fast acting one and they give you the slow acting one. That's what they're doing now. So they're telling you that you can go eat all kind of starches And once the sugar goes up, you shoot up insulin fast. Shoot your sugar fast. That's not your best choice. Your best choice is to repair the function of that gland. And once you repair the function of the gland, that gland called the pancreas will respond to you and your sugar level will stay normal. That is the key. Although diabetes is a complex disease, it can be repaired. So if you have antibodies in your system, your body's in balance, and you have antibodies that's supposed to be doing what? Neutralizing viruses and allergies in your system. These same antibodies could also cause your immune system to attack your pancreas. They call it an autoimmune disease. And once the immune system attacks your pancreas and kills the pancreas, then there is no insulin production because your pancreas is dead. And once your pancreas is dead, you can fix it. So that is the reason why you must keep the immune system in balance. That is the key to avoid the antibodies which are supposed to be neutralizing viruses and allergens start attacking your pancreas, okay? That's what we call type 1 diabetes. Or some people who have type 2 diabetes have that problem also. Secondly, a genetic predisposition, not your genes. A genetic predisposition. You are eating the foods that your mother, your father, your auntie, your uncle was eating, and then you come down with diabetes the same way too. Bottom line. So we're going to teach you how to eat to fix diabetes. I say we fix, repair, cure. They want to hear the word cure, but cure diabetes, okay? Now type 1, type 2. And then we're going to teach you how to mix the herbs. If you have sugar in the urine, because once you have diabetes and the sugar is not getting into the receptors, so you can utilize your sugar as energy, your sugar spills in your blood and it spills in your urine. And you have to pee it out. And that is how you get kidney damage long term. So we're going to give you some herbs that you can use to remove the excessive amount of sugar in your urine. All right? So let's go now to diabetes and what we can use, what herbs we can use. You know what type 2 is? Type 2 is diabetes mellitus. And type 2 diabetes, you have to know if you have insulin resistance. You have to know if you have insulin sensitivity. That means that when you eat anything with sugars or bread or anything that have starch in, your sugar will jump high. That's insulin sensitivity. Yeah, don't forget that now. Or if you have insulin deficiency. See? So when you have insulin resistance,
saying the volume is low, but I don't know what happened.
When you have insulin resistance, you have to know how to fix diabetes if you have that. All right, so let's go over here now. You see the can here? Oh, you can't hear? Eh? Oh, you're hearing now? All right. Now, look at the herbs I'm going to use for diabetes. Type 2. Remember that if you have type 1 diabetes, these herbs, some of these herbs are contraindicated if you're taking insulin. So some of these herbs are contraindicated for insulin juvenile onset diabetes, because what happens to these herbs is,
for the people who can't hear, try turning up your volume on your phone, because some people hearing good and some not hearing.
All right.
So it could be your phone.
Could be your phone.
Turn up your volume.
Turn up your volume on your phone or turn up the volume on your computer. All right? Now, some of these herbs are contraindicated for people who have type 1 diabetes, especially this one over here. This one over here. Down here. Gymnast Sylvestre. This one here. And because what it does, it drops your blood sugar level so fast that if you're taking insulin, it can potentiate what your insulin is doing. So you have to learn how to use the herbs with your insulin if you are on insulin. If you have type 1 or juvenile onset diabetes, that is very significant. Because I don't want you all to take these herbs, shoot an insulin, and then you get into hypoglycemia attack. All right? And pass out. So you have to be educated about how to use the plants with your insulin. And that's the reason why you have to have a machine to check your sugar levels for me 4 times per day. First thing in the morning. 1 check before you have your lunch. 1 check after you have an hour after your lunch. 1 check before your dinner. And 1 check before you go to bed. That's very significant for me. In that way, you will know if your pancreas is working or not. Let me give you an example.
They say it's very blurry. They cannot see the paper.
We're going to check it out. Now, if you get up in the morning, or come over here, and your sugar level is supposed to be 70 to 100 milligram deciliter. That's how your sugar is supposed to be in the morning time, right? Now, if you go to bed at night and your sugar reads 150 milligram deciliter, and you get up in the morning and your sugar says 250 milligram deciliter in the morning time, you know for a fact that your pancreas isn't working well. Because your pancreas regenerates between the hours of 1 and 3 in the morning, and if your sugar is 150 milligram deciliter at night and 250 in the morning, something is wrong with your pancreas. Now, if your sugar level, if you have diabetes, and you check your sugar level at night, and it says 150 milligram deciliter in the night, and it says 90 milligram deciliter in the morning, it's telling me that your pancreas is working. That's how you know. And that's why checking is significant. So when you check in the morning and it's 70 to 100, you know you're okay. If it's 150 at night and it's 250 in the morning, it's telling me that your pancreas isn't working properly. You have to train it back. If it's 150 at night and 90 in the morning, it's telling me that your pancreas is working, but it needs some help. All right, that's significant for you to note also. All right, so checking is also significant. All right, now you said blurry. Don't go too near.
Yes, it's connection weak.
Connection is weak, I guess. Okay, wonderful. Now, don't forget, you have to have a machine in order for you to fix diabetes. If you don't have a machine, you have to get one. The bad thing about the Caribbean countries is, in these small islands, we are dependent on the medical system to check our sugar level for us. And that is not the right way. You have to have your machine in order for you to fix diabetes. Now, number 2, when you go to the doctor take a A1C. What if we come over here? The doctor take a A1C for you. A A1C is he's checking your sugar in your blood. Now your A1C supposed to be 3.5 to 5.5. Now if your doctor check your A1C and your A1C says 6.0 or 6.5, he is telling you that you are prone to getting diabetes or you're on the borderline, because 6.0 is 130 milligram deciliter and 6.5 to 7.0 is 140 milligram deciliter, and you're not supposed to be so high in the morning. So your A1C will tell you in the blood if you are getting diabetes or if you have it, because it either shoot at 6.0 and up or 3 or 5.0 and down, and that's how you know. So the A1C is very significant, and that's why I say to people every day that the medical system is also significant in checking your blood. So don't run and say you're going to just use herbs. You have to do your check first before you can start on a program to repair diabetes. Now, once your A1C says 6.0, your doctor will tell you be careful because you are becoming a diabetic, meaning that you're on borderline. So this number here means you don't need no drugs. You don't need it. This number here means you don't need no drug. Now, if the doctor do it a A1C and the A1C says 10.5, that's telling me that your sugar is very high. So you have to either get it done by insulin naturally, or you have to take some herbs, right? And supplementation, right? So now you know where you're supposed to be with your A1C and where you're supposed to be in the morning. That is significant. All right? Now, dandelion root. Dandelion root, the first herb we use for diabetes.
blueberry, Acca's bilberry. I'm going to name the herb because if you could see properly. Dandelion root, blueberry, gentian, they all bitters. Cinnamon, and this herb here called cinnamon helps the beta cells. Don't forget, this herb called cinnamon helps your beta cells to utilize your insulin properly. Very significant. This herb here called Jimny sylvestre is what we call sugar destroyer. And it normalizes the function, I'm going to use the word normalize the function of your pancreas, of the gland. Because your pancreas is part of the endocrine system. And your pancreas depends on your pituitary gland for insulin production. They can't do that in the posterior part of the pituitary gland. So with all the functioning of the pituitary gland in your brain, your insulin production will be minimized if that gland in your brain is not utilizing your insulin in terms of your pancreas. That's very significant. Your adrenal glands also is significant in keeping you from getting hypoglycemia. We're going to talk about that. Fenugreek. Come down here. Fenugreek. These are the herbs you need for diabetes to help to normalize the function of the pancreas, of the gland. These are the herbs you need. Plus, you can use bitter melon. You can use artichoke leaf. Lots of them. But I'm giving you the 5 main or 6 main herbs you can use if you have type 2 diabetes. But if you have type 1, these herbs, some of them is contraindicated, meaning that they're going to potentiate what your insulin is doing and make your sugar drop fast. And that is why you have to check your sugar levels once you are taking these plants. Okay? So you don't go into hypoglycemia attack. Now, lots of diabetics have bad circulation. And when they get bad circulation, they also have troubles with the nerves. And we're going to teach you what you can do to fix these troubles. You can fix it. Don't let no one tell you that your body don't heal itself. If the body gets right nutrition, the body will heal because the body have a mechanism to heal itself naturally. So if you have bad circulation as a diabetic, and you have what we call diabetic neuropathy, this formula is very significant, and it helps all my patients to help to move the blood, help the circulatory system, and also help to remove or help to alleviate the pain that you get from diabetic neuropathy. Ginkgo, horse chestnut, lycium fruit, bilberry, if you have troubles in the eyes and the diabetes is affecting the retainer, we call it the touch retainer. We use bilberry in the mix because you can fix, and I'm going to use the word repair, and fix a detached retainer naturally by using these herbs. Prickly ash, cinnamon, collinsonia, skullcap if there is nerve damage. So you see what we're doing is we're using herbs to help with circulation. We are using herbs like this herb here, collinsonia, to increase what we call vascular integrity. And we are also using an herb to help the beta cells to utilize your insulin properly, which is cinnamon. And we are using a nervine. If there is troubles in the nerve and the nerve is damaged, you can use these nervines to recap the nervous system. Because your nerves, although it takes a longer time to be repaired, it can be repaired because God put herbs on the earth that have a nervine ability. And if there is troubles in the eyes, like detached retainers or diabetic retinopathy, we put in some bilberry there. We put in some lycium fruit there. We put in some ginkgo there in case there is troubles in your eyes. All right? Because of diabetic retinopathy. All right? These are the herbs we use for that condition. If there is bad circulation and if there is troubles in your nerves. Mark them down. If you have diabetes, and utilize them properly and come off the starches. Leave the starches alone. Go to your complex carbohydrates. And the complex carbohydrates will make your sugar go up slow, but come down fast. That's significant. All right? Whereby the refined carbohydrates will make your sugar go up fast and come down slow because it is foreign to your pancreas. Don't forget that. Now, when you have diabetes, I put you on a special diet with foods. And the foods, bean pods. And the reason I use beans, because beans have a glycemic index of 28. Don't forget that now. Beans have a glycemic index of 28. So there is little sugar in these foods. And they have a lot of fiber. So they help the pancreas at the same time, because once you have diabetes, you must have a high fiber diet. That is very significant to remove excessive amount of debris from your GI tract, which is the earth. Bean pod, very significant for diabetes. And the glycemic index in this food is even go as low as 18. See? String beans. You could either juice it or eat it raw in your salads, because string beans have natural insulin. String beans have natural insulin. So sometimes, if your pancreas is not producing lots of insulin, the string beans on a regular basis for over a month will help the pancreas to produce lots of it, while the cinnamon will help your beta cells to utilize it properly. Pinto beans. The glycemic index on pinto beans is 28. Kidney beans. The glycemic index in kidney beans is 21. Lentil peas, which helps prevent your DNA damage. Lentil peas does that now. Organic lentil peas. Lentil peas have a glycemic index of 28. And you're looking at your green, leafy vegetables. Very significant. This is the diet you're going to have to go on while you have or trying to repair your diabetes. Otherwise, you will be spilling your top in mud and you will never get good results if you keep on eating your starches. And that's a fact. Right, now, if you're going to use anything that has sugar, you do diabetics. If a diabetic, show me here. If a diabetic is going to drink anything with sugar, remember that you're looking for 5 grams or less when you go to the supermarket. Because 5 grams or less sugar will not affect your pancreas in a negative way. Also, if you are a diabetic and you're drinking anything with sugar and the grams are higher than 5, and you drink that, and swallow it. Why do that? Because when you swallow it up in your mouth, it starts mixing with the enzymes. And then the enzymes in your saliva start breaking down the sugar chains. So when you get into your stomach, your pancreas don't have lots of work to do. Don't forget that. Swallow it up in your mouth. All right? Now, let's go to over here now. Important. Supplements. Enzymes.
We should have used the regular.
Your enzymes are important because your pancreas produces enzymes in the exocrine part of it. And you burn up the enzyme function in your pancreas because you've been feeding your pancreas lots of acid foods. And the pancreatic secretion functions in an alkaline terrain because the secretion pH is 8.0, 8.3. But when you start eating starches with proteins for over a long period of time, and you start to change the composition of the secretion in your pancreas, and you start changing it from 8.0, 8.3 to 6.0, 5.0, you will burn up the enzyme function of your pancreas in the exocrine part of the gland, and then all of a sudden your pancreas will become lazy and it will become burnt out. And then when you need the enzymes to break your foods down, you don't have them. And that is the reason why you're getting diabetes, because you are changing the composition of your pH in the pancreatic secretion from 8.0 to 6.5 or 5.0. So once that pH changes from an alkaline to rain, because starches is acids and proteins are acids and fats are acids and oils are acids, and you've been eating them together for 15 years. So when you get to be middle-aged now and you burn up the exocrine part of the gland, of the pancreas that is, and once you reach the age of 50, you don't produce 60% of the enzyme in your pancreas. So how are you going to function? How are you going to have good health? How are you going to have good pancreatic health when you burn it up? And you get older now, the pancreas naturally do not produce 60% of the enzyme in the exocrine part of the gland. So you have to eat the food that have it. But you don't eat the food that have it. So automatically, you become prone of getting diabetes because you burn up the enzyme function of the gland. Because the gland do two things. It produces insulin in the endocrine part of the pancreas, and it produces enzymes in the exocrine part of the pancreas. So once you have diabetes, you must find a company that make good enzymes. And you must take 9 enzymes per day. 3 enzymes before or after each meal to help the exocrine part of the pancreas to break down your sugars properly and to break down your carbs and your proteins and your fats. I love you.
I love you too.
Wonderful. That's what it's all about, love. Now, GTF chromium. GTF chromium means glucose tolerance factor. Once you have manganese in the system, you can never get diabetes easy. Once you have chromium in the body flourishing, you can never ever get diabetes easily. So you must take GTF chromium, because GTF chromium help you to tolerate glucose better. 800 micrograms per day is what you need. 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening, and you will see a sugar drop like fast. Magnesium, 800 milligrams per day of magnesium. You must use magnesium when you have diabetes, because magnesium also from the heart muscle, but it is also used for nerve damage and muscle function. So you must have magnesium in your diet once you have diabetes. In the liquid form, in the powder form, in the capsule form, but not in the tablet form. It don't work. B1, B6, B12. If you're lacking these B vitamins and they all work together, you can never take one B without the other. If you're taking B12 only, and you're not taking B6, B1, B2, B5, and B3, you can never ever utilize the B complex because they work together. If not, you will cancel off the B vitamins. Follow me. B1, B6, B12. Look at what they do. They reduce numbness and tingling in your fingers and in your toes, because they work in your nerves, the nervous system. B1, B6, B12 should be taken separately, 300 milligrams of each of them, of the B1 and B6, and 3,000 micrograms of the B12, and then you get a B100 and supplement with them together. And once you do that, it will reduce the numbness and tingling in your fingers and in your toes, and it will also reduce what? Down here. It will reduce diabetic neuropathy that I tell you can't fix. Once you utilize these vitamins properly from good companies, they will reduce diabetic neuropathy naturally. And they will reduce the numbness and tingling in your fingers and in your toes. Mark them down. And when you start using them, you're going to see a big difference. Let's go to the vitamins now. What does vitamin C do for diabetes? Vitamin C improves glucose tolerance. Vitamin C, what it does? It improves your glucose tolerance as a diabetic. In abundance, 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C per day, buffered vitamin C that is. Because it buffers your pH and causes pH to stay 7.0, 7.45 in solution. So you don't need ascorbic acid vitamin C, but you need the buffered vitamin C because it helps to improve your glucose tolerance. Vitamin E improves glucose utilization. Vitamin E improves glucose utilization. CoQ10, which is found in your heart muscle, also lowers your blood sugar levels naturally, taking 460 milligrams per day. 460 milligrams per day of CoQ10. It lowers your blood sugar levels naturally, and it gives your cells energy. We call it cellular energy. Because once you have diabetes, your cells become messed up. Your beta cells become messed up, and your receptors become messed up. EFAs, essential fatty acids, decreases insulin resistance. Essential fatty acids decreases insulin resistance. Let them know that. Research has proven that. It's a fact. EFAs decreases insulin resistance, but the EFAs also works on your cell membranes to prevent the diabetic from getting what we call diabetic neuropathy, inflammation, and bad circulation, because it produces what we call your good prostaglandins, your PGE1, your PGE2, and your PGE3 is what you have that's damaging your system, that's damaging your nerve. But when you do the EFAs is called essential fatty acids because they're not made in the body. You have to get them from your foods. So they go into the cell membranes, and they help your cell membranes to produce your good prostaglandins, your good PGE1, and move the PGE2 out and the PGE3 out, and automatically you get good circulation, you have no inflammation, and your nerve become repaired. Bottom line. All right? Don't let them fool now. Go over here. Stop sleeping on me, girl. Wonderful. You see that herb here? You see what it look like? It look like ganja, innit? Look like weed, eh? You find so?
Yeah.
But we don't smoke no weed. Look like weed. This herb look just like weed. See it here? Watch it. But you know what it is? It is called wormwood. Read your Bible. It's in Revelation. When John chewed the book, it tastes bitter like wormwood, but sweet in his stomach, the news of the Most High. Wormwood is good for your liver, and your pancreas is tucked right under your liver. And your liver maintains your glucose level because your liver stores sugar and or glycogen and release it back in the blood as with sugar in your blood. Once your adrenal glands on top your kidneys send a signal to your liver, telling your liver that it needs to what? Your liver needs to do what? Release blood sugar back in your blood. Your adrenal gland send a signal once your sugar become low. And that automatically tells your liver to release sugar back in the blood. And the liver releases red sugar back in your blood, and your sugar goes up. So this herb here helps your liver. And this herb here helps your liver to utilize your insulin properly and help to kill parasites in your body. Read up on wormwood. It's in the Bible. Revelation. Right over here. This herb is called red peony. We give this herb to women who have fibroids and have troubles with blood. And this herb is very significant because it calms the blood. So lots of the time, if you are diabetic and your blood is moving too quick, it calms the blood down. But it also works for women who have trouble with fibroids and ovarian cysts and PCOS. It helps to calm the blood if there is too much blood movement. We call it the red peony. Don't forget the name. Over here. This one is called Loris tuba. This herb right here. And this herb is very significant for nerve pain. When you have nerve pain because you have diabetic neuropathy, we give you this herb mixed with other nervines to stop the nerve pain naturally. And then once we are stopping the nerve pain and we are working on moving the blood and helping the nerve to regenerate, automatically your nerve pain will disappear long term with good nutrition. I'm going to use the word good nutrition, not them all rice and macaroni and cheese and eggs and ham and all them kind of food you're eating. That don't fix diabetes. That gives you more nerve pain. So we are talking about going on a good, clean diet to help to do what? To help the pancreas to normalize its function while you are working on the earth, which is your stomach, and helping the stomach to utilize your foods better, to move them out quick. So you don't have the pancreas working extra hard because that particular gland called your pancreas is the hardest working gland in your digestive system. Let them know that. Next one. Over here. Hawthorn berries and fruit. You always hear me talk about hawthorn. Fruit. This herb is good for circulation. It helps to fix or repair Alzheimer's disease mixed with other plants. But it is also a nervine. Good for the nerves and good for circulation and it's good for your heart. Because lots of diabetics who have insulin resistance end up shooting more insulin because the doctors don't know they have insulin resistance. They're making insulin, but they're not utilizing it properly. So what the doctors do, they give them insulin to shoot in the arm, and they give them a double whammy. Because now you have insulin resistance, meaning you're making it, but the doctor gives you more of your insulin. So when they give you more insulin, he gives you a double whammy, and he causes you to have too much insulin in your blood. And once you have too much insulin in your blood, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to have hardening of the arteries. Don't let them fool you. That is a fact, and they cannot doubt that either. If you have insulin resistance, and your doctor don't know, and he puts you on insulin, he's putting your arteries at risk of becoming very hard. And once your arteries become hard, your blood can never flow through the arteries. And guess what will happen to you? You will get troubles in your heart. And that is the reason why we use hawthorn fruit. Because the hawthorn fruit prevents plaque from forming on the walls of the arteries. Follow me now. See? You all been taught wrong. You understand? You all been taught wrong. You all been taught to take a pill forever and ever. Amen. I'm telling you that you could come off the pills. Wean yourself off day by day and go back to the Garden of Eden and eat the food that God gave us to eat in the beginning and you stay healthy. This one over here. That's her. This herb is called Colenopsis. Don't shake the camera now. This herb is called Colenopsis. And Colenopsis is an herb used for energy, especially when you have troubles in the glands, in the endocrine system, especially in the adrenal glands. So once a diabetic have troubles with utilizing sugars properly, and the diabetic don't have that connection between the liver and the adrenals, then we give them Colenopsis. And it produces energy, but it also helps the gland to send messages to the liver to release wet sugar in your blood. Some complicated, but it's a fact. Now, look at this herb here. Come over here. It's the last one. I look like snake, right? See that herb right there? It look like a snake, ain't it? Watch it now. Watch that. Look like snake skin, ain't it? Or you never seen it before. You all never see this herb before. Never, ever. Never see this herb before. See that? Huh? Huh? I'm going to teach you all enough things. Push the love button. Because love we are dealing with right now. Push all your love button. Push it. See the love? That's the love. See this here? You see this herb? Whoo. Look like a snake, but it's wonderful for the liver. Get them herbs. Go to a health food store. Get the herbs. It could break. Yes, it could. You see? It break it. String it off. See? See?
What? It's off me?
Yeah. That's the herb right there. See? See, I'm teaching you all. Look at right there. I'm teaching you all about herbs, man.
Why is that cotton?
That's cotton. It's good for your liver. It's a herb for good for your liver. See? When you have diabetes, you'll keep your liver healthy. If you have liver cancer, you must take that. Yeah? When you have trouble, see? Look at right there. Look at it. Look at it. See? See? Yeah? See how blue it is?
What is that?
Oh, man. What it is?
What's that inside
The
it?
healing of the nation. That's what it is. Push the love button now. Let's go. Now, you want to eat it? All right. Now, when you have diabetes,
What's the name of that, sir?
it's called Bucaleli.
Bucaleli?
Bucaleli, yeah. When you have diabetes, and you have your sugar level being so high because you don't know how to control it, huh? Guess what happens? Sugar.
It's called Bucaleli.
Yes.
Bucaleli.
What's that, you know?
Wait, 1 second. My pot's burning. Let me turn it off.
Don't, up top, boy. You're going to teach my people. You're going to teach my people today. You're going to teach my people today. I'm going to teach you all today. A lot of things we have to learn. Enough things to learn, much more. Now, when you have diabetes, yeah? Remember we said that hormones are messengers, and all hormones have a receptor to receive the messages of that hormone. That's the endocrine system, because the endocrine system is a bunch of glands that produces hormones to keep us well. Right? Now, insulin is a hormone, and insulin have a receptor. Now, this is the receptor. Yeah? Now, insulin is like a key, and your receptor is like a keyhole. So when insulin comes in, naturally, and he goes in, he opens the door, and your sugar goes in. Yeah? Now, if you have blockages of the receptors from fats and mucus and cholesterol, insulin comes in, he can't get in. Once it can't go in, sugar spills in your blood. Once sugar spills in your blood, sugar ends up in your urine. Once sugar ends up in your urine, long term, that same sugar that you're supposed to use for energy start damaging your kidney. And that's the reason why when you start to have high sugar levels and the sugar spill into the urine, the doctor take a test of your kidney called a renal profile test. He look for potassium, he look for sodium, he look for chloride, he look for carbon, he look for bun, he look for creatine, he look for GFR. In African Americans, or black people, the GFR is supposed to go from 60 to 85. Your GFR drops from 60 to 30. Why? Because you have too much sugar in your urine. So it starts killing the filtering units of the kidney. That's why you get kidney damage. That's why you get kidney failure when you have diabetes. And that's why they want you to get kidney damage and kidney failure, because they want to put you on dialysis. Because every block in the black community in America is a dialysis center. Every black community in Baltimore is a dialysis center. Every black community in New Orleans is a dialysis center. Why? Because they're telling you to kill your kidney and come to death. You follow me? So once your sugar levels become high and your sugar gets into the urine, it starts damaging the filter units, and then all of a sudden you go to the doctor and he look at your renal test and said to you, your bun is high, your creatinine is high, your GFR is low. And he said to you, you know what? Prepare yourself for dialysis. So he put a punch in your neck, or he put a punch in your arm, and he tells you next week you got to take it because it is a $174 billion a year business. So they're telling you, kill your pancreas, kill your kidney, and then come to me and let me give you some dialysis.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, don't get it. I'm teaching you how to fix it now. Wonderful. Right? So, when you have sugar in your blood or sugar in the urine, we have to move the excessive amount of sugar from the urine. So what we do, we go to the eighth method therapy called diuresis, meaning that we're moving the sugar out of the urine by using plants or herbs that have a diuretic effect to move it out. Here they are. First one, come over here. Don't forget, I'm going to teach you how to use the plants. Nettle leaf. Nettle leaf is a potassium sparing diuretic. We use 4 parts of it. Yeah. In here. Then we use another herb called uvarasi. Uvarasi will make it pass the water out also. We use 4 parts of uvarasi. 1, 2, 3, 4 parts of uvarasi. If there is any kind of troubles in the urine, and you have what we call calculi, we use a herb called stone root. God puts purple in it for everything. 1, 2 parts. 2 parts of the stone root. If there is calculi in the urine, because sugar is mucus. We use another herb called dandelion leaf. 2 parts. 2 parts. And if there is any kind of infection, we use 1 part of a herb called cleavers. Shake it up. And then we take 1 teaspoon, don't forget, 1 teaspoon to 1 cup of hot water, and you're going to cover it for 5 minutes, and you're going to strain this mixture, this formula, and you're going to drink 3 cups per day with some cucumber juice, some celery juice, some parsley juice, and some one green apple. And you're going to pee all the sugar out of the urine naturally, so that you don't damage the filtering units of your kidney. But if you keep on using refined carbohydrates and sugars that don't help your pancreas, you will have sugars flowing in the bloodstream. And because of insulin resistance, you will have it flowing into the urine. And once it cannot come out, it's going to start damaging your kidney long term, and you will be a person who is prone to the system of dialysis. We're almost done. Now diabetics, over here. Diabetics get lots of things fast. They get troubles in the heart fast. They get infection faster. They get yeast faster. They get parasites faster. They get eye trouble faster. They get cancer in the pancreas faster. They get pancreatitis faster. Diabetics do. Let them know that. So when you have diabetes, if you are prone to getting yeast, because you can never fix diabetes and have a yeast infection. Can't fix it. You have to move the yeast out. Boldadi. Have to use that. Boldadi. GTF chromium. Enzymes. Adrenals. Pick it up. That's only if your adrenals is not sending signal to your liver to remove or release wet sugar in your blood. You have to go to the adrenals. There are herbs there for that. Codonopsis, Siberian ginseng, licorice, schisanda berry. Lots of them. I can name a whole ton of them for you. To fix the adrenal glands. You don't get anxiety taking herbs for the adrenals either. Enzymes. Always look for rainbow light enzymes. Always look for rainbow light enzyme. Advanced enzyme they call it. It is the best around. A lot of these papaya enzymes are garbage. They don't fix your troubles. 3 times per day.
What's the first bottle?
Boldadi. That's for yeast. Any yeast. Boldadi. Any kind of yeast in your body. Any kind of yeast. If you have diabetes and you have yeast infections. Any kind of yeast.
What's the name of the snake skin herb and How you spell that? You know?
I want to spell it for you. I want to spell it for you. Who want to spell it? Look it over here. Spell it. Corlexeucommiaae. A big name. You will spell it for them. You're going to spell it. Okay. Now, when you have trouble in the kidney and you're using these herbs to move the water out, we are using these pellets to keep the kidney intact, to keep the kidney regenerated, to strengthen the kidney. And if there is any troubles in the liver and you don't want to drink the herbs because they're bitter, you go to the liver herbs, pellets, in pellet form, any form you want it in. You know, find a store anywhere that sell these herbs and get them. Find them, utilize them, and follow the criteria that I just mentioned a while ago for diabetes, and you will fix it. And if you have type 2 diabetes and you need insulin, and if you are taking 50, 30, 20 units of insulin per day, I can guarantee you, I put my head on a platter, and I'm telling you that I can guarantee you that you wouldn't need 50 units of insulin per day, nor would you need 20 units of insulin per day. You might need about 3 units.
This phone picking up a lot of bad connection.
You're almost done. Follow me. We're done now. Problem. Done. All right, so I want you to follow me now, because when I was in Canada, there were so many people, man. Not only black people, people from India, Pakistan. In Canada, come and see me, having to go on dialysis, damaged kidney because of high blood pressure and diabetes. And they both can damage your kidney, like lupus. So you have to prevent the disease, man. You have to try to eat right. Don't eat late at night. Don't eat and go lay down and sleep. Eat an alkaline diet. So don't mix your starches with your proteins. Eat proteins with vegetables. And in that way, your pancreatic secretion will stay at 8.0, 8.3, and you will have better health. And you will see how your sugar will drop. But if you abuse your foods and you don't eat them to live, and if you keep on abusing your organs, I'm telling you all, people might say, hey, he's talking, everybody has to die sometime. Yeah, we have to die sometime. But when you get sick is when you start to understand that you should have taken care of them organs and them glands. Is when you get sick and when your sugar levels go high. And the doctor said to you, listen, you got kidney damage, you got pancreatic cancer, you got pancreatitis. Then you will understand the concept or the teachings that once you abuse your organs will take the abuse for how long? And then one day, he will turn on you and he will damage you. He will take your life. He will get you sick that you can't work. And once you can't work, you have no health, because health is wealth, but sickness is not wealth. So you have to learn and practice your principle every day to use the foods and take care of your organs. Give them a vacation. Bring them to Jamaica. Bring them here to Grenada. Bring them here. Bring them to Grenada for vacation. Come to our retreat. April 10th to May 10th. It'll teach you how to use your foods. So when you go back to your country, origin, you could teach someone else, because at the end of the day, each one teach one. Bottom line. And always remember that Jehovah, Yah, Allah, what you call him? He is the ultimate healer of all things. Don't give me no glory, but give all the glory to the Most High, Jehovah. I hope you learn today. And if you learn, pass it on to somebody or practice it and take care of your organs before your organs turn on you and take your life. Bless you.
So can all these herbs be used at once?
All of them could be used as one together. I just did it a while ago in a formula. See, I make a formula. This is a formula.
All the capsules and
All of
everything.
them could be used at once. Yes, they can be.
Okay.
Right? They can. Everything is formulas. Use them together. Everything together is better. One herb don't work as much as good as the other herbs as herbs together. So you have to make them in a formula. Okay? Don't forget. Bless and love, darling. Thanks for doing the shooting. You know what I mean? You know, patience
You're
and love and
welcome,
everything.
but
Yeah.
next time we ain't using that phone.
You,
It's a new phone, but
yeah, but
looks
that's
like
alright.
we get
Thanks.
some.
Thanks for watching,
Camera
and don't
is
forget to push the love button.